Can I even do that? Can I put Barry inside DeVoe's mind?
Not by yourself. The chair that I created still contains an imprint of Clifford's synaptic waves. I will use that to open a door into his subconscious. Then, your ability to telepathically inhabit others will serve as a cerebral bridge, allowing the Flash's mind to connect to Clifford's.
I'm guessing it's really risky to put her into the mind of a psychopath.
Yeah, technically you would be connected mentally to DeVoe.
So, best case, I start acting like him, like I have been with other people. Worst case, he uses his brain powers on me, and...
Look, we understand the risks. If you guys don't want to do this.
Our baby is not gonna live in a world without love because of that madman. If this is what it takes to bring him down, then I say let's get it set up. Preferably before my next contraction.
All right. If we're gonna do this, we all have to agree to it as a team. Harry, you on board?
No. Problem.
Let's do it.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. The Flash Season 4 is dropping on Blu-ray next week, so they're dropping deleted scenes, but I also have a clip of the actor that they just cast to play Ragdoll from the comics during Season 5, so I'll play that in a second, then I'll talk about that, then I'll talk about Season 4 deleted scenes. The extra cool thing on top of that is that it also seemingly confirms that they're going to be doing the Icicle character as Caitlin Snow's father, so I'll explain how that's connected to Ragdoll. But if you're new to the channel, there's a new round of that Flash Ring giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on the video. I'll name a new winner at the end of this. Here's a really creepy clip of the actor that's playing Ragdoll. Remember, he's a contortionist from the comics who's triple jointed. The reason why Ragdoll is an important character, given what they just did with the Thinker during Season 4, is that the Ragdoll character has history with the Thinker in the comics. Thinker brainwashed Ragdoll to commit crimes based on dolls. He didn't really become the crazy contortionist till much, much later in the comics. Initially, it was kind of silly. His son, Peter Merkel Jr., is the Ragdoll that ended up joining Secret 6, so he's the more modern version of the character that you think of when you think of Ragdoll. What they might be doing is just combining both of those characters, because the old version of Ragdoll was just a little bit silly, the modern version was a little more hardcore, and I think they're trying to go with a slightly darker spin on Season 5. The episode he's going to debut in is called All Dolled Up. It's episode 5. So obviously that's a play on his comic book origin where the Thinker brainwashed him to dress up and commit crimes based on dolls, but also a play on the character Ragdoll's name. The really cool thing that's going on here, because we know that Caitlin's father is going to be a big thing, in episode 6, the episode right after Ragdoll's episode, is the Icicle Cometh, like they're literally putting his name in the title as Icicle, which is a play on the Iceman Cometh, which is a Broadway play, making it kind of sound like he's going to have some sort of metahuman frost-based powers. In the comics, Ragdoll's arc actually led into an Injustice Society arc with Icicle on the team. So what I'm really hoping that they do is that they pull from that deep cut and Caitlin's father winds up being Icicle from the comics so that he can be a villain because he was a member of the Injustice Society, pretty evil person, but not necessarily connected to Caitlin Snow in the comics. So that would be the TV show sort of changing their backstories, but I feel like that would totally be fine. If you're going to do a really interesting story for Caitlin, it makes sense if you're going to connect those characters because Ragdoll and Icicle were connected in the comics. Here's a clip of that character just to give you an idea of what his abilities look like.
Then we better get to work.
The other really cool Easter egg about the Icicle character is that, remember, they're doing the Supermax movie for the first half of Arrow's season, Oliver stuck in prison with all the criminals that he put in there. During the original version of that movie that they were going to make a long time ago, Icicle was a character in that, so he actually has ties to what they're doing on Arrow right now. But it's not like he's going to show up during Arrow Season 7. It's just an Easter egg for that original script. It's just nice to see those connections behind the scenes. It just all seems to be pointing towards Icicle happening this season. These actually might be the younger versions of the Rogues that the producers were talking about. They said that they were introducing younger Rogues during Comic-Con, so you're like, what does that mean? So we already know we have Spin, we have Ragdoll. Hopefully Caitlyn's father is the Icicle character and winds up being sort of a replacement for the way that Captain Cold led the original version of the Rogues. The whole thing about that, though, is that while the Rogues are still a very big villain team in the Flash TV show and in the comics, remember, Cicada wants to kill all metahumans. He wants to get rid of their powers. That's why we've been talking about Cisco. The Death of Vibe is also an episode title. So I think pretty much everybody's kind of figured out now that Cisco is probably just going to lose his abilities. So he'll wind up being Cisco in Vibe. The character, the persona that he has, will end up dying, and he just won't be a metahuman anymore. The reason why they do things like that is to balance the scales a little bit. Like, Cisco's ability is really powerful. Like, he can port them anywhere. He can actually stop people dead in their tracks. So I think they want to give him an interesting character arc where he has to rely more on his intellect and less on his vibe abilities, which I actually think is better for the character. Original Cisco worked really well with the team, and even though he does have really cool powers and they look really cool on screen, I haven't been quite as big of a fan of the more recent Vibe stuff that they've done with the character as I was with the original version. Let me know in the comments, though, because of all these Icicle Easter eggs that are happening in episodes, do you actually think that they're doing that this season and that's who Caitlin Snow's father is going to turn into? They're actually filming episode 5 right now, so we actually might get a chance to see what they're doing with Caitlin Snow's father behind the scenes, but they might keep that green screen, so if he actually does turn into Icicle, we might not find out about it for a while. There's a whole bunch more stuff coming up. I'll try to get through the videos as fast as possible. Congratulations to the giveaway winner from my last big video, Dan McClellan. Please email me on the About page of my channel so I can get your contact details. We actually don't know if Nora's going to be part of the crossover right now, so I can't say yes or no, but I will post an update if we find out more about that. Click here to learn all about them bringing Superman back, and click here for brand new Spider-Man Far From Home. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.